Yeah, and as you can see, temperatures are still really warm for the beginning of November, that's for sure. Still feels like hurricane season, even though we're coming toward the end of it. But, you know, Hurricane Ian's destruction across South Florida, quite visible on land. But underneath the waters of the Gulf of Mexico, a different story. And you can't see that the Category 4 storm actually turned vibrant artificial reefs into disaster sites. And it has reinvigorated the harmful algae bloom known as red tide.
It's a mess. It really is. So let's speak, if we can, with Dr. Eric Milbrandt. He's the director of the Marine Laboratory at the Sanibel Captiva Conservation Foundation. What a beautiful part of the world. Good morning to you in Fort Myers, Florida. And we understand that we saw a similar red tide event after Irma. That was back in 2017. So do scientists understand how a hurricane can actually spur red tide?
Well, it's happened actually twice in the last 20 years, the year after Hurricane Charlie in 2005, and then also after Hurricane Irma in 2018. So we don't understand the drivers, although we do understand a lot about this dinoflagellate that causes red tide, including that they are very flexible and can use a lot of different sources of nutrients to bloom.
And I know red tide can kill marine life, including manatees. So why is the manatee population at an even higher risk right now?
Yeah, so a lot of the darker water that has been brought on by all the freshwater discharges from the coastal areas has slowed down the growth of seagrass, and that's the main food source for the manatee. So, you know, as a tide dilutes the water and the waters become clear, it'll be easier to find food for them, but they are always challenged by the lack of a food source.
Yeah, we were talking about how when you have a tropical system, how there can be so much destruction onshore, but offshore, again, let's focus on the artificial reefs that we were talking about. There are, 3,800 of them off Florida's shores. Now, how do you actually build an artificial reef? What purpose do they serve, and how does a hurricane destroy them when they're well underwater?
Yeah, so the eastern Gulf of Mexico is very shallow compared to other ocean basins near the land mass. And what we've done is we've built structures vertically to provide relief. And those are places for fish to hide and for other things to live underwater. And what's happened is that the large waves that we've measured, 23.5-foot waves off of Sanibel Island, which is incredible. Those waves, that wave action kind of disrupted that vertical structure and flattened everything out. So we're not really sure how long that will affect the marine life, or how it will affect the fisheries and the other marine life that use it.
Yeah, just another costly problem that we're dealing with in terms of Ian. I understand Florida's Fish and Wildlife Commission says the fishing industry is worth nearly $14 billion a year to the state's economy. Do you see long-term financial harm from Hurricane Ian?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, not just fisheries. The island that I work on, Sanibel Island, is a destination for many, for shelling and for beach walks and for vacations, family-friendly, outdoor. And, you know, there are a lot of accommodations that have been flooded. So that tourism-based economy here in Lee County is on pause currently. And, you know, we will come back, but it's going to take some time.
Absolutely.
Dr. Eric Milbrandt with the Sanibel Captiva Conservation Foundation. Thank you for all the great work that you do and for spending time with us this morning.